Welcome back, my dudes. So here we go. Jenny Lawson, take like 5 now. I recorded this, got through part of it, started stuttering. There's too many pauses. I did that 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 times. Then I finally got through it, and I got to the ending of it, and I accidentally hit delete on my audio. So holy crap, here I am, chapter 18 for like the 4th or 5th time. Fiercely Happy, Jenny Lawson, let's freaking go. This one is entitled, I Left My Heart in San Francisco, but replace San Francisco with Near the Lemur House and replace heart with a sad question mark. Are we ready? For the 4th or 5th time again, let's go. You know when you're walking to the trash can at the zoo and you're holding something important in one hand and you have something you have to throw away in the other hand, and you're sort of distracted because you just realized the universal truth that everything in the world either is or isn't pandas, and you're trying to decide if that's an important epiphany or not, and it's also distracting that it's not until you're halfway back to the lemur house that you realize you're still holding the garbage in your hand, and that you seem to have thrown your car keys in the trash. And then you run back to the trash can to find your keys, but apparently they've sunk to the bottom, and you're bent over hesitantly sifting through other people's garbage, and people are starting to stare, and you want to explain that you're not crazy, except that would be disingenuous because you are mentally ill, but it certainly wasn't your mental illness that caused you to throw your keys in the trash, and you don't appreciate their assumption. And you consider explaining that, but then you suspect you might seem even more unbalanced and start yelling at total strangers about judging your mental illness while you're digging through the garbage can at the zoo. And then you realize that you're going to have to use 2 hands to find your keys, so you look for a place to set down what's in your other hand, and then you realize that you're still holding the trash you went to throw away originally, and then it probably looks to others like you were digging through the trash and were particularly happy to retrieve the most eaten funnel cake. Oh my God. Even though I've read this a few times, my dudes, this is still funny and gross at the same time. The most eaten funnel cake you just wanted to throw away before you got pulled into this mess. And then you move in to throw it in the garbage, but you stop yourself because you realize if you put it in the trash, you're just creating more stuff to sift through to find your keys. And so you stand there with one hand in the garbage while you're indecisively at the funnel cake, which has stumped you. And then your husband comes out looking for you and is like, "What in the hell are you doing? Why are you digging through the trash?" And you say, "I'm looking for my keys." And he's like, "Most women just store them in their purses." And you glare at him, but he's still saying, "Seriously, stop." You look like a lunatic, and you say, "I dropped my keys in here because I thought they were funnel cake, so can you just help me?" And then he stares at you with speechless, baffled concern, shakes his head incredulously, and he pulls out the car keys that you'd apparently left on the table at the lemur house. And you feel relief for a second that you looked in the garbage and think, then what could I have thrown in there? You can't decide whether to keep looking because maybe it's important, but now you can't even say, "I'm digging through the trash looking for my keys." And instead you have to say, "I'm digging through the trash for something of mine I just threw in there that I don't even know what it is." And no one can even help because they'd be all, "What does it look like?" You'd have to say, "I have no idea. It will be a surprise to us all, I guess." But the crowd is getting larger. So instead you let your husband pull you away, and you never find what it was you left in that trash can. And it haunts you forever because you let random strangers shame you into not rolling up your sleeves and dumping the garbage can out all over the sidewalk so you could solve the mystery of what was I looking for. And then all the way home you root through your purse desperately looking for something missing, but nothing is but nothing is, and it drives you crazy, not knowing what the hell it is you left behind in that trash. And then your husband mumbles that maybe it was your dignity. And he has a point, but you explain that you remember it being heavy and substantial, so it was obviously not your dignity. And you explained that the only reason you were distracted enough to throw away something that wasn't keys was that you just discovered a mind-blowing universal truth. But then he looks at you expectantly and your mind goes blank and you can't remember what it was. And now you've lost two important things that you don't know what they are. Yeah, this is how my whole week has been. There's a footnote here at the end of the chapter. That was the end of this chapter. Footnote, I did finally remember the universal truth, that everything in the world either is or isn't pandas. But when I told Victor, he was like, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Why are you waking me up for this? And I had to apologize because no one is prepared for that level of brain-melting epiphany when they're still half asleep. The next morning, though, he still wasn't impressed, and I even tried to explain it, but he insisted it was rubbish. I think I got the last laugh, though, because my epiphany was just quoted in a published book, and that's pretty damn impressive. There, we made it through with minimal troubles. My dogs are playing on the couch, so if you hear huffing and puffing and growling and whatnot in the background, it's just them. Luna and Poe, remember, they're going to be here. So, chapter 19 is coming up next. I plan on getting to a chapter tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday. But next week, I plan on digging in again. We're supposed to get another snowstorm here in northeastern Pennsylvania. We had one a couple weeks ago. We had one earlier this week. And we have one, I should say, on the way starting tomorrow at like 3 or 4 in the morning and going until like 4 in the afternoon. And we're supposed to get like 5 inches, I guess. I don't know. Roadways are supposed to be slick. I don't know. So I could read a chapter tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night for all I know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you listen to this whole thing, I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoy everything. And I will see you on the next chapter.